Why do narcissists lie so much? This video is about the narcissist lies, why they lie, some examples of the most common lies they all seem to tell. The narcissist personality disorder is a disorder, and people do need at least 5 of the 9 characteristics to be on the spectrum of the disorder. Most people will lie at some point in their lives, sometimes telling a white lie, sometimes because they don't want to hurt another's feelings. Yet people with empathy towards others would often feel guilty and want to come clean, often leading them to avoid lying to people in the first place or in the future. Usually kind people resort to white lies that protect others from hurt or pain. Narcissists resort to lies to protect themselves. So why do they lie? They believe they are always right, as a narcissist is also most likely lacking in cognitive reflection skills, meaning once they've made their truth up, their beliefs, their opinions, they cannot look back and reflect. They've made their minds up that they are correct and all others are wrong. Narcissistic people continuously try to prove others wrong with various manipulation tactics. To a narcissist who always believes they are right, being wrong is unimaginable for them. They can not and do not get it. They will go to extreme lengths to prove that they are right. Why? There is simply no point in explaining yourself, defending yourself, or arguing your position with a narcissist. They simply cannot and will not see your point of view, but they'll happily watch you go crazy trying to explain it. Being right to them is more important than other people's feelings. That, with their lack of empathy, means for us going against what a narcissist's truth is can lead to devastating consequences for us. Sometimes when they are gaslighting us, they do it so convincingly and so well as they actually believe the lies they are telling, as to them it is their reality and it is their truth, and they are not going to be swayed by anything we say or do otherwise. They will go to great extremes to prove themselves right and to prove others wrong, causing that cognitive dissonance within your mind over the mismatch of realities and beliefs and opinions that you are now living under the narcissist spell. They lie to escape accountability and protect themselves. They lie to get their needs met. They lie to play the victim and get sympathetic attention from those around them. They lie so they don't suffer the consequences for their actions, so some are aware of their behaviour. They lie to escape all accountability, and because they cannot reflect, they believe. Some can end up believing their own lies. They lie to get admiration and positive attention. They lie to confuse you and your own reality. They lie to anger you and get your reactions. They lie to control others and to control their reality to get their needs met. They lie to get their needs met. They lie because their lies become their truths, as they don't see fault within themselves. In order to change themselves, people have to see and recognise the things that they would need to change. A narcissist will just go around blaming all others, as they believe that others are at fault and that others should change for them. Narcissistic people are often lacking in emotions such as guilt, remorse, empathy, as they live in their own reality with their own opinions and their own beliefs. They may feel shame deep within themselves, often why they will blame others or blatantly lie that they didn't even lie. Even with facts and evidence in front of a narcissist, they can still claim that they never did that or they never said that. As part of their disorder is a lack of empathy and a sense of entitlement, a belief they are special and a willingness to exploit others to get their needs met. They only use others. There is nothing to stop the extent of the lies they will tell. Narcissists will adapt many lies to suit any given situation at that given moment in time and meet their own needs. They walk straight all over all others, exploiting those who stand in their way. With some, the number of lies they tell, they can actually end up believing their own lies to be reality, making their lives even more convincing to others, as they do lack in that cognitive reflection skill to learn from the errors of their ways. Those where they know there might be consequences, they will lie to cover up their lies through instinct, to deny others reality and to keep denying others their reality. So people don't take action that doesn't suit the narcissist's needs. Types of lies based on the 9 characteristics of the disorder. 1. Entitlement. They will lie to influence others, to get their needs met, to get what they want, to jump in front of the queue at a restaurant. They will make stuff up. I made a booking, is my table ready, things like that. Even though they haven't, they will lie with, I'm really looking forward to coming home to see you. They're not, they just want you to believe they are, to idolise you, to love bomb you, to make you feel loved and special. So you then shower them with attention, affection and support. And they will use exaggeration and manipulation. They will say things like, I own the ex's house and have to pay all the bills and have to pay the mortgage. I have to pay for everything because they're too lazy to work and I need to support the children. Often they don't. They just want you to believe that they are a genuine, kind, loving person. They want you to feel sorry for them, not realising that they are financially abusing you. As to you, they're doing the right thing by their children. In reality, they're often not paying the ex anything. Some can do this. Some can pay the ex to show the grandiose of, whoa, look how good I am. But the majority do not pay them anything. And they are paying you nothing. They just enjoy living rent-free in your mind, in your home, as they believe they are entitled to do so. Things like, I would never cheat, my ex cheated on me and I know how horrible it is, which is influencing you to trust in them, when in reality they're telling you everything they're about to do to you, as they feel entitled to lie about their past to get their needs met in the present. So not only do they match you like for like when they are mirroring you in the idolization stage, and we often think when we say they match us like for like with hobbies and things like that, they match our insecurities, they match our weaknesses, so that we feel like they have an understanding of those, when in reality they're just learning about them to use them against us further down the line. Arrogance. When you ask them a question about something, it can be something as simple as, how was your day? Down to calling them out on their behaviour, as they believe you've questioned their authority. They just stay quiet, not giving you the truth. Just saying nothing at all, leaving you to wonder if they're okay, if you've hurt their feelings. You might chase after them to see how they are, to try and work things out, to try and reach a compromise. It's human nature to communicate with each other. But they will lie by giving you the silent treatment. There might be absolutely nothing wrong or nothing that you've done, but they will give you the silent treatment. So you question your behaviour and work harder to please them, as they believe they're more important than you, and they are proud of their behaviour. They see you questioning them as questioning their authority over you. Exploit. They will lie by gaslighting, saying that never happened when it did, to get you to question reality. Or, I told you last week, you must be losing your mind. They didn't tell you anything last week. It's all to gaslight you, so you question your own memory, causing cognitive dissonance within your mind. So you start questioning yourself. Once they have you questioning your own thoughts, feelings and opinions, doubting reality and doubting yourself, it's easier for them to manipulate and exploit you to get their needs met. grandiose. They will lie by exaggerating the truth to make them look better than they are. Any achievements they will exaggerate. And there's nothing wrong with being proud of your achievements, but they will either make them up or they will exaggerate. And they will exaggerate ones that they've made up, as they see no problem in making themselves look better, as they believe they are better. We can mistake that arrogance for confidence, wanting to be around those who are but seemingly look comfortable with themselves, not understanding it's just their attention-seeking face as they put the grand act on or pretend to be someone they're not. And it is awful, but the vulnerable narcissist, and most people have been through some sort of trauma in their life, and I'm not taking away any form of trauma that a narcissist has been through. If they've been through trauma, it's devastating. And what's all the more devastating is because some of them will have been through that trauma, that pulls on our empathy and sympathy to want to help them. And some of these things they've been through are valid, but that is not an excuse for them to go around treating people how they treat people. So the vulnerable narcissist can actually exaggerate the trauma they've been through to get that sympathy, to get that attention. They can really pull out the pity play. And then there's the narcissist that will lie about the things they've been through, or tell people what they've done to someone else that someone else did to them, but they'll twist it and turn it and exaggerate it to get that sympathy, to get that attention, and to get people on their side, to get enablers and flying monkeys to help them out. Jealousy and envy to gain attention. So things like in the workplace, they only got that promotion because they've sucked up to the boss. I'm the one that works harder. They don't work harder. They just want to cover for how lazy they are. Why are you wearing that? Some will even buy clothes for you that you wouldn't usually wear, as they know their capabilities and they don't want to lose their investment until they've drained you of what they need from you. It's not because they love or care for you. It's not because they want to protect you. It's because they want to protect their interest in you. A lack of empathy. They will lie to play the victim to gain sympathy. They lie to use your empathy against you. My ex treated me horribly. We're no longer together, but I'm struggling to leave because of the children. Or my ex is jealous and will not let me see the children. The worst part about things like this is when they cannot see the children, you can see they're not seeing their children. It could be true, but the narcissist might just not be bothering to see the children, or they can completely miss out the part that they played. So they pull out the parental alienation card to gain your sympathy. Parental alienation does happen, but that's when they use the children against the parent, and they turn the children against the other parent, which is often what narcissistic people do. They try to use the children to harm the other parent, and then when the other parent takes action against them, they call out the parental alienation card. Just again to twist the story, because they'll not tell you how they let the children down. They'll not tell you how they mess with the children's minds, or how the other parent woke up and at all costs protected the children. Which is what the ex is usually doing. And with the narcissist lies, it can look like the ex is jealous. Parents will say things like, my child has no respect for me, if they no longer see them. So people feel sorry for the narcissist, yet they miss out the part that in reality the child realised they were raised by a narcissist or a toxic person and broke free. Preoccupied with their own power. They will lie by telling you something they did, but not telling you the whole story. So half-truths. I've got to work late. They might well be working late, but they'll leave out the part that after work they went somewhere else, or they went to meet someone. They will lie with admitting partial truths, so that you don't fully want to question them, because they've told you half a story, but gives you that intrigue. They're causing that intrigue within your mind so that you go and question them. Then when you question them, you get all the word salad, which covers up what they're doing, and you're the one left further confused. So they might tell you things like, I've been to see person A, and they might well have been to see them, but they'll not tell you what they've actually been doing with that person. So you know where they've been, as they've told you that part of the story, which is true. So you end up not wanting to question the other part, primarily as a narcissist will lie to you and reinforce within your mind that you're insecure, as their actions are having an impact on your instincts. So those insecurities are your instincts trying to warn you. The narcissist makes it sound like a bad thing that your feelings are triggered, that you're insecure, as they're not going to admit fault. What they want to do, you to do, is focus on your behaviour and your feelings being wrong to cover for what they are actually doing, to deny you the reality so that your feelings don't match up to your reality and you're feeling confused. So when you're feeling confused and insecure because you know they're up to something, but they're causing that intrigue, when they're telling you you're insecure, you then question, oh yeah, am I being a bit insecure here? And it's a very confusing place to be. Those insecurities are our instincts triggering us because we know something's not quite right. And because a narcissist is not going to turn around, admit fault and say, you know what, you're right, you're insecure because I'm lying to you. They will lie to blame shift. If you were a loving person that gave me what I needed, I wouldn't have to go elsewhere, leaving you again to focus on improving your behaviour and less on what they've actually done. Things like, if you hadn't, I wouldn't. So you focus more on you and focus more on your behaviour from the past to work harder in pleasing them in the present, while they will downplay or make excuses. And we then end up downplaying or making excuses for their behaviour. We end up sat there thinking, oh, they were only joking, they didn't mean it, I'm being too sensitive, because they will have drilled those things into our head. They will have done something, and then when we've got hurt feelings, they will tell us that we're being too sensitive. And because our feelings are hurt, it matches. Their words match how we feel. When our feelings are hurt, we feel sensitive. They're telling us we're sensitive. So we skip over what they've done to cause us to feel sensitive and blame ourselves to feel sensitive. And then when they say, I was only joking, again, we question our sense of humour. We question whether we are taking life too seriously, when in reality they've done something that's hurt our feelings. They are using those words so that we focus on our behaviour, which is perfectly normal behaviour around these kinds of people, while they get away with doing whatever they want to get away with doing. I believe they are special. They will deflect a lie by twisting it onto something similar that you've done. Well, you went out with person A last week. I have no idea what you got up to. I trust you. Making you doubt yourself for questioning them in the first place, as they believe they should be allowed to do as they please without having to answer to anyone, which is valid. And that's what makes it all the worse. It's valid. With good intentions, people are allowed to do as they please without having to answer to others. And we often think that our parents, our children, our partners, our bosses, our work colleagues don't have to answer to us. But with a narcissist's intentions, it's because they believe they are above others and allowed to do what they want. Their actions often hurt those around them. Why do they lie? Which is covered in most of the video, but most of it is about control, as most likely that's Their game is to try and hide you, to try and deny you the reality of what they're really doing by showing you a game with one hand while they're playing another game somewhere else with another hand, and they're trying to hide that game they're playing over there by showing you the game they're playing over here to keep you confused, as they are all about control. They want and need to be in control. They feel entitled to control those around them and all life events. When they are not getting their own way, when they are not getting what they want, they will blame others. To them, life is against them, and if it weren't for someone else, they would be achieving the success they believe they deserve. They don't think they should have to work at it. They believe they should have it handed to them on a plate. Those who do work for it will exploit others and miss a few steps on their way up. If we feel controlled by outside events, especially when mass smear campaigns hit, we can see ourselves as helpless, the victim, and the why is this happening to me? Or why are they doing this? What are they going to do next? And it's draining and it's devastating. Once we step out and all hell seems to break loose, it is draining, it is devastating. Once we take back control of our lives, those outside situations no longer impact us. I've been through this, and there's still games that hit now. And once we take back control of our lives, once we see them for what they are, once we see their games for what they are trying to do, once we have our own internal control, we can then walk away from their games and find our happiness. Once we take back control of our lives, those outside situations no longer impact us. Without our own internal control, we take on the responsibility of the happiness of those around us. In reality, we are responsible for how we feel only, and others are responsible for how they feel. As narcissists lie, gaslight, intimidate and invalidate us, we slowly lose control of our minds and our lives, not knowing what is truly happening to us and trying our best to please others, not understanding that as nice as it is to help others, it's all about helping those who are able and willing to help us, walk away from those who are not. Also, that it's okay to be selfish and put our own feelings and needs first. With good intentions, there is no wrong way or right way to live your life. There is only your way. The oxygen mask on the plane. Yes, it seems selfish putting it on yourself first. If you put it on the wrong person first, then they will just up and leave you in the middle of the plane without any oxygen. Put it on the right person first, your oxygen levels might fall a bit low, but they would, once they're sorted, they would then help you. Put it on yourself first. You will be able to run at your best to help others, even those who don't deserve or appreciate your help. Boundaries are a must, knowing when to say yes and when to say no. And if saying yes to someone else is then saying no to yourself, it needs to be a no to the other person. And you need to stick to your no's, otherwise that other person thinks, taking that boundary down, not that they see it as a boundary, but that other person thinks, they said no and they did that anyway, so I'll just push again and again and again. So your no's need to mean no. Compromise, yes. If people are willing to compromise, that's part of life. If it's all their way, you have every right to turn around and go your way and leave them to it. Trust your instincts. If what someone's telling you doesn't feel right, leave them to it and go your own way. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are your feelings. Your feelings are there for a reason. Your feelings are to teach you that you need to do something, change your perspective, change your approach, change the people you are around. Those feelings are there to serve you. And as incredibly painful as some of those feelings are, they are there to serve you. And I know that's hard if you're at the beginning. Narcissists have that black and white thinking. To them, it's either good or bad. There is no room for mistakes or errors in judgment. To them, it's all or nothing. They can only see themselves as good as bad, and they can only see others as good as bad. So everything must be perfect to suit them. They will place blame on all others for situations or problems they might have caused. Without that cognitive reflection, they cannot look back and see what they might have done that led up to the bad situation. And without the empathy, they don't see how someone else might be feeling. Most have cognitive understanding of empathy, so they can think how others would perceive something, and they can use that empathy against them with emotional blackmail. Yet they simply cannot put themselves in someone else's shoes to feel or care how they are making someone else feel. This is why most will project all their failures and faults onto others, as to them they are entitled, they are superior. Any mistakes they make or any achievements missed, they will place that blame onto someone else. Being around this on a continued basis leaves us feeling like we are at fault, as all their projection is slowly drip-fed into our minds. Also why we are somewhat too forgiving, as we can see the good in them. We can see the trauma that they've been through. We live those moments when they did treat us well. Those times when they do treat us right. Often with all the blame shifting, when the bad side in them, the good and bad, when the bad side in them comes out, we are led to believe that this is our fault. It is never your fault. Narcissists learn through life that to them it's far easier to lie than to tell the truth, often ending up believing their own lies to be reality. They are like a 3-year-old caught red-handed with a bag of sweets that you told them they couldn't eat till after dinner, yet while sat still eating those sweets, claiming they haven't touched them, or claiming their siblings gave them to them, or pretending they didn't hear you say no, or they're sure you said yes. Most people feel guilty and learn to grow out of this. A narcissist is a toddler throwing lies and tantrums in an adult's body, and some of these are extreme, so always stay safe. I'm Elizabeth Shaw. If you do find the information on this channel helpful, please like, subscribe and share. There's lots of information out there, so find the information that resonates with you, as that is the information that will help you. And it's okay to have a difference of opinion. Sometimes when we're fresh out of this, people can become defensive and jump on people the wrong way. So sometimes we do have to take a step back. I've done it myself where I've read something and gone, oh, no. But then once I've taken a step back and actually thought about it, I've realised that was my own perception of it. And if I'd have responded the original response, it would have come across rather rude. Even though it wasn't meant that way, it was because I took the comment as rude. So sometimes we do have to take a step back and rethink while our brains remove the fog that they've put there. And it's the same as when around them, we become to walk on eggshells. We become unable to talk as such. And then when we come out of the relationship, we can still have that problem within ourselves where it's not a problem because it happens to so many people. It's just something that they do to us. So we can have the thoughts in our head, but we daren't let them out of our mouth for fear of reaction from other people, even when what we want to say isn't to harm another person. So it's about finding you again, about distancing yourself from negative people and to find out who you are and building yourself back up and finding the techniques that work for you. I shall add in the description where you can find me on other social media for more information. I shall add the links to the online courses that I have available. They just break it down a bit more step by step to move you through the process. There is the free course available just to help people kickstart in recovery from narcissistic abuse. Most people, that is enough to get them started. I shall also add the video links to future faking to explain more on how they pull on our hope, the mirroring stage of a relationship, and 9 phrases, because we do say a lot. Most people say no contact, you need to, and people that have lived it, that have been able to go no contact, will turn around and say, we'll just go no contact. And when you've got children, or when it's one family member out of lots of, I don't like saying good or bad, lots of genuine family members, it's not always that easy just to cut somebody out. So I'll add the video for 9 phrases to disarm a narcissist. But again, with the phrases, be careful. You know the kind of person you're dealing with. Some you really don't want to be saying anything. Others, when they're coming at you in a gathering, they're ideal. Right, I'm babbling now. So I hope everyone has a lovely day. Make sure you do something that you enjoy doing for you today. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.